Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Russell. Welcome to the Down Under FPL podcast.
I'm Brandon, and this is Game Week 5. So we'll just go straight into the games and preview this week. Did pretty well. Got 79 points. Happy with that. What did you get, Russ?
I got 41.
Yeah, roughly.
The downhill slope is coming. I'm going to start snowballing and just go rapid with it.
We'll go through our transfers at the end of the episode and what we're planning and ideas, but let's get stuck in. I think this is the first week that Champions League starts. So obviously Liverpool have got AC Milan, and through the Liverpool game where they lost to Forest, this will be a big one. I'm sure that they're going to start probably a very similar lineup.
Yeah. This
game.
Yep. And you've even got, I guess, even Aston Villa. They're playing VSC Young Boys.
Young Boys.
It's just such a weird name.
It is. It is.
But they're quite solid. They're a good young team. They always produce talent. So, but look, with that Liverpool side, I think you'll see plenty of rotation. I think you'll probably see Joe Gomez. Maybe Chiesa will get his first start.
I think so.
I hope so. That'd be great. I feel like
Nunez.
Yeah, Nunez. I reckon even Chiesa might start as that probably 10 role. You'll still have Salah. You'll have Nunez up top, and then maybe a Gakpo.
It makes sense to play Nunez in this game. I think he hasn't played 100%. Many minutes. And the fact that it's first game, Champions League, they could be saving him a little bit for that too. Jota's played most of the games up front. And coming into this, they've obviously got Bournemouth, which have been playing really well, and they play really well against Chelsea. They've been playing great. They were unlucky not to get a draw out of that with Sanchez's amazing save.
Oh, it was such a good save.
Great save. So I think this is a harder game too because Bournemouth are on top. They're playing good football. So I think they're going to rotate a couple.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, and we'll see.
I guess you got to think too, Bournemouth weren't allowed to play Kepa either.
That's right.
So,
they played Travers
and
he did well.
Right.
He did well. So
very decent. So.
They're all good keepers.
Yeah, and I think Clivert, he was he performed quite well. Van Linson unfortunately missed a penalty.
He did.
That would have been his first goal, and I think once he gets that goal, as long as it's not against Liverpool, then I'll be happy. So,
but credit to Forest. They've shown that they've got solid defence coming through, like Aina, they've got Sells, they've got a couple of good guys there that are doing really well in defence. And then to be able to bring Hudson-Odoi and Alunga off the bench, that was just a tactic which I thought was very solid.
Oh, absolutely. And look, that they exposed Liverpool, right? I think you'll find a lot of teams now will sit behind the ball with Liverpool, and they'll sit behind, they'll try and frustrate them, and then they'll play their wingers in between the backs and the CDMs. And then from there, they'll just look for a quick counter-attack, especially City. City will love sitting a man right in between that pocket. And then they'll just feed Haaland, or they'll feed bloody Jeremy Doku, who's a rapid demon.
They'll just keep feeding it. But I think, Liverpool will turn around. But at the dreaded international break, cursed them. Cursed their momentum.
We didn't even play that well.
No.
That crisp passing that you saw in the first 3 weeks wasn't there.
They just weren't on. Yeah. And it was just, who knows? It was just that international break. Everyone went away, played for the international teams, and they came back, and everyone was just not in sync.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll get back to it this weekend. But if we're going into some of the games this weekend, obviously West Ham and Chelsea. Chelsea got the win. As we kind of saw across the game, Sancho came off the bench for Neto on the left. So Chelsea got a good rotation with who they can rotate, but it's a bit of a roulette. The only person that's playing every week is Palmer.
Yeah.
Consistently.
And
Jackson. Which is playing about 70 plus minutes.
Centre back again.
And Colwell, and then they had Diassi starting, and they brought on, I'm pretty sure it was Fofana. I think they had Tosin come on as well for his first start for Chelsea. So the rotation was there, but good thing is I had Sanchez. He got 15 points, so my one game of the year where he'll perform, and then he'll go to shit for the next few. But in this game, I think this is a great game, a great clash. It's the first early game. Chelsea, I don't believe, have any fixtures, European fixtures coming up apart from this Premier League game.
Yeah.
West Ham, I think, is the same. So it'll be a good clash at London Stadium.
Yeah. I think it'll be very interesting.
It will.
I think what is it about West Ham? There's something about West Ham, and something's not working. Whether or not there's just too many individuals, or whether or not the team's not understanding the game plan and how to execute it, or I don't know. But that team is too good to not be performing right.
Yeah, they're not doing enough. But I think it's a brand new coach as well. And they've been a team that signed a few new players, as we kind of saw across the game against Fulham are a decent side as well. And it was a 1-1. And look, Smith Rowe's still doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a good job for owners that held him.
Yep.
But Jared Bowen is probably the glue in their team, and he's still performing week in, week out. He's very consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think in this game it could be a draw. Who knows? It could be a close one because I'm just not sure yet on how the result's going to go.
Yeah. See, if I'm West Ham, I'm looking at replacing both keepers. Like, yes, Ariel is good.
Yeah, they need to get
some
keeper.
Great saves. Fabianski as well. He's good. All right, but then they've got Wes Foderingham, who has been in and around
From
as well.
Sheffield Wednesday.
He's 33.
Yeah.
Ariel is, 31?
Yeah.
And then Fabianski is 39.
Yeah, they need a new
got
keeper.
3 keepers all over the age of 30. Like, what are you doing? Just, get someone who's young but can command their area. You need a 24 to 26-year-old goalkeeper, right, who's just riding on confidence at the moment.
I'm sure Chelsea
Honestly,
could...
someone like a Kelleher.
Or
Kelleher could go
Petrovic.
well.
Just send a Petrovic.
Yeah. just send...
Chelsea are loaning out their keepers all the time. I'm pretty sure he went out on loan. If
one
he didn't
of
already.
Chelsea's 60 bloody
46 players.
Keepers.
But yeah, close game. So Aston Villa have got Wolves. It'll be interesting to see what the rotation is. Duran just keeps scoring goals. He scored a cracker.
He's unreal. He's
against
in
Everton.
hot form, man.
He's in great form. And I think he deserves to start at some stage. I don't think he'll start for Watkins, though. I think Watkins obviously scored a double. And Rodgers missed a clear assist to give Watkins his third in the game.
Yeah.
Rodgers is that person that is just not converting, but he looks dangerous on the pitch.
Oh, yeah.
Every game.
Yeah, and look, he's young.
He's young.
He's so young. And so, he needs to learn these lessons and understand that always, trying to get those shots can sometimes be a bit of a hindrance.
Even assists, just assisting and doing that. So he hasn't got a attack and return yet.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I've learned in fantasy sports is that when you see someone with a lot of potential and promise in how they play, just don't sell them.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you sell them, then they start scoring.
Yeah.
And then you're the idiot that looks like you started it. So he's
sure.
only 5.1 mil. He's not going down at this stage. Hold him. But if we're looking at anyone else that's at 5 mil, Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
He is just, he must be on Ten Hag's number one list of talent because he started every game over Garnacho and he played bulk of the minutes. Pretty close.
He was out on loan last year.
He was.
And he needed to be on loan to get those first 10 minutes. And who was he on loan with?
And he got an assist again. He scored 6 points, got an assist. And I think he didn't get a yellow card, but at the end of the day, he's been really consistent across the weeks, and he played 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So he played 90 minutes. He played 21 against Liverpool.
Yep.
He played 89 against Brighton. Then he played 60 against Fulham in the first game week of the year. So if you've got Amad Diallo, I wouldn't be selling either.
Yeah. Well, sorry, it wasn't last year that he was on loan. It was the year before.
Year
before he was on loan. Played 42 games for Sunderland. All right, which is pretty much a whole entire championship.
That's right, yeah.
All right. And then he scored 14 goals and only got 4 assists, but still.
That's pretty good.
Right? Imagine what he's going to do in 38 if he continues to start for United.
And
he has to start
He
for
must,
United.
because obviously Ten Hag likes him and likes the way and what he does on the ball. I think his attitude is obviously really good.
Yeah.
Because Garnacho and Rashford, they got 2 different types of personalities. Then Diallo just seems like that team player that will just do what he needs to do. And I think Ten Hag wants that.
Yeah. Look, as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of United.
No.
But I always have certain players in that squad that I admire. Right? I always admired Martial. Always liked him. Always liked Scott McTominay. Right?
And he scored back-to-back goals for Napoli. So maybe McTominay was not the problem. Maybe it was Manchester United that was the problem because Scott McTominay is a good footballer.
100%. And look, I like Josh Xerxes. Xerxes is a quality player. And I like Diallo. So, I mean, those two are going to continue to perform for that club. No doubt.
They will. And they played well against Southampton. And with our bet, we didn't have to wear Southampton jerseys, as you can see. Southampton, as we predicted, they just are going to get relegated this year.
Yeah.
They're struggling to just do anything. I wouldn't be surprised by Christmas if their coach is sacked because they need something, right?
Yeah.
They need to change something prior to Christmas so then they can get some wins on the board.
Yeah. And even if they play a little bit of negative, frustrating football. Which
counter-attacking football, whatever.
Counter-attacker.
Because Onana made a penalty save, and he saved a pen against them as well.
And that was a good. That was a good pen save too.
It was a good pen save.
Good pen save. And honestly, you could tell as soon as he made that save, like Old Trafford just got loud and it got really, really intense. But I reckon if Southampton would have netted that, I reckon Man U would have just started dropping.
Crumbling.
And then we would have had a very interesting game.
We would very see. But yeah, okay, let's go into a couple, I guess, picks for the week. So looking at these fixtures around the European fixtures, as I said, Duran is a pretty solid pick. I think he's going to start at some point. I look at even other picks like Harvey Barnes has been performing for Newcastle United. He's been their shining light. Potentially even someone that you like, Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, Dwight McNeil. Mate, what was that? I heard a thing today. 17 chances created. All right. He has been,
in the Prem this season so far.
This season. He has got more chance creations than any other player in the Prem this season.
So all their attacking stats are going to come from him.
Yeah.
All attacking assists, like free kicks. I'm pretty sure him and Harrison both take the free kicks and corners.
Yep.
And then you got obviously, him assisting Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, and Calvert-Lewin is just another one who's potentially going to get your points, right? If you're struggling down the bottom and you're looking for someone to just give you a couple of points, I honestly think Calvert-Lewin for your strugglers might be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe. And I wouldn't mind looking at, Calvert-Lewin at 5.9 million. He's gone down. And same as McNeil, he's gone down to 5.4.
Yep.
So it's a good option there to look at that, especially for consistency. But the only problem is Everton 2 weeks in a row just bottled a lead.
Yeah.
2-0 lead.
2-0 leads and then just gone. Obviously, it wasn't the calamity that was against Bournemouth because that was just
over 5 minutes.
Real.
But Calvert-Lewin scored one. He missed two easy. Like I would say somewhat, if he had his time again, he would have probably converted.
Yeah.
So the issue is that Everton they're just struggling.
But
and they're not keeping goals out either.
If you look at their next 6 to 7 games, it's actually not bad. They
got?
Leicester. They then have Crystal Palace, Newcastle, which is that Crystal Palace-Newcastle game. You can see probably Calvert-Lewin scoring or McNeil creating something. All right. But then they've got Ipswich, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham.
So they got some fixtures that they can score some goals.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be taking defensive assets, but
no, do not take any defensive
unless it's Pickford. But even then, I wouldn't even look at that. I think those next three, Leicester's still a tough clash. They've shown that they can get some draws and get some goals, but there are goals conceded.
Yeah.
Then you look at their one afterwards. They got Palace. Now Palace, they're an up and down side every week.
Yeah.
They can either hit 5 against you or they can concede 2.
Yeah.
And
that's just coming down to manager's tactics, I think, and the way that he rotates or the way that, he sets up and prepares them for the week.
Well, Nketiah played 90 minutes on that right side, or like where Elise was.
Yep. And
he had 6 shots. So I think with Palace, Mateta took the penalty. So if you're an Eze owner and Mateta looks like he's on pens.
Yeah, there was a big
blow off about that.
So
you got Eze, you got Mateta, and you've got Nketiah at 5.9 mil. Yeah. There are actually options into the Palace attack now.
Yeah.
In terms of who you want to go, and I think it's exciting. If you want to go into Palace, I don't mind their fixtures. Palace, I don't mind their side in general.
Yeah, well, they've got Man U this week,
and they love playing against Man U.
Yeah, and then they've got Everton, but then they've got Liverpool again. Like you catch Liverpool on a cold week, which that will probably be 5th of October, so that'll be another
Champions League week,
weekend,
and the first game of the week of the round. So who knows? But overall, I don't mind Palace with how they're going. I think there's some good options there. If we look at potentially Ipswich, they've got Southampton this week, so I think there's some good assets. Even Leif Davis.
That's going to be an interesting match.
I reckon Ipswich will win.
Yeah,
because Southampton is struggling, but
it could also be like a 2-all, 3-all draw.
Leif Davis could be an option. 4.5 mil.
Diaz will finally do something.
Sammy Simonic's Liam Delap.
Simonik, yeah.
You got Delap the striker. You got Amari Hutchison. Maybe you'll finally come out of the woodwork and deliver something.
Absolutely.
So there's options there, but if we turn our attention to maybe more Tottenham, they've got Brentford this week, which I think they got some goals. But if you've got someone like Mbeumo, I reckon this is a good week to play him.
Yeah. Keep an eye on Wisa. because Weiser was involved in a pretty bad tackle and he looked like he was in a bit of pain.
So maybe in a bit of doubt.
He'll be. I think he's already ruled out for this weekend. So bench Weiser if you've got him. I'd say
until you find out more info.
Yeah, until you find out more info.
And then you've got Mbeumo. Obviously, he's good week to actually have him. I don't mind this clash against Tottenham. I think Ange is obviously trying to win games where they're struggling, but
yeah, it's
you got to be frustrated after the game when the interview happened, wasn't it? He says, I win things. That's it.
It's a little bit reminiscent of Jose Mourinho, right? You look at Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho was not happy with the attitude of the players. He wasn't happy with the work rate. He wasn't happy with a lot of things in that Tottenham squad. And you start to question, like, who's the right manager for that squad? Or does that whole entire
I don't think it's the manager,
need a complete flush out?
Yeah, I don't think it's the manager, though. I
don't think so.
I think it's the way...
Look at Poch.
Yeah.
The way that Poch left, everyone was shocked. Everyone. And then you had, obviously, Jose. You had, who was it that succeeded Poch? Was it?
AVB. You remember at Villas-Boas?
Oh, yeah, Villas-Boas.
Yeah, so that was from time. But with Spurs, I don't think it's the manager. I think it's just they've got certain plays in their team where, as we kind of spoke about, I think in those big games, I reckon if you put them in other teams, they will do really well. But in Spurs, it's like they just don't have that game winner.
No.
That person that can break a game open, they can win it. Like Son has his moments, but Son also goes missing half the time in some of the games.
Yeah.
He's not like a Saka that can just turn up and then deliver, or a Haaland or any of these guys that can just turn up game after game.
Yeah.
They just don't have that one clinical, like, game breaker. That can turn up every week and dominate. Like KDB can just turn up and just with his passing and manipulate the game.
For sure.
They've got some good players with Pedro Porro, Madison. So there's quality there.
Yeah, Porro
they just need that.
Though, against Arsenal.
He was because Arsenal had him in his pocket. You know, and I think Ben White.
Of the week.
Oh, sorry, Timber. Timber did really well. He did.
Some people were saying he should have got a red card. I'm 50-50 on that. It's one of those ones where I've seen cards given. You look at McAllister. McAllister got sent off.
They did, yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
who knows? You can go out with the refs.
Bullshit.
But overall, I think Tottenham do win this week. I think it'll be close, though. I think Sonny might even have a good week, too.
Yeah, mate, it'll be interesting to see.
Against them. But if we, overall, Solanke might get his first goal for the club this week. But Brentford will be competitive. They'll take it to them.
Yeah, for sure.
They scored a goal in City.
Yeah, very true.
Within a minute.
I think looking at Newcastle, right? Newcastle only just beat Wolves 2-1.
They did.
There were some bangers in that game. All 3 goals were great. Yes, Fabian Schär's goal got a deflection, but like you can tell the way he hit it was absolutely unreal. And then who was it?
Then you had Harvey Barnes hit one.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes, mate. That goal was insane.
Cunha
again, dude. Wolves will go down still.
Mario Jr. scored in the game, so Mario. And then Strand Larson got the assist.
Yeah.
So Mario Jr. got the thing.
Cunha also hit one, I'm fairly certain, in that game. And looked like it was going in, but Vicario actually made a very good save.
Yeah, he did.
Vicario? No.
No, it would have been Pope. Russ is...
Right, here I am. I'm back again, messing up the names.
Get your kick out, Russ, and just let you kick out on the script.
Yeah.
But, Newcastle have got Fulham. It'll be a hard game this week. I think hard game. Fulham is still defensively rock solid, pretty strong. I think it's playing at, where is it at? Cottage? Craven Cottage. Yep, so it's at Craven Cottage as well. Tough game, tough place to play.
It's interesting with their attacking options, isn't it? You never know really who's going to pop up for that team.
With Fulham?
Yeah, for Fulham.
Yeah, with either because Rahul played. So if you got Muniz, probably sell him because he hasn't delivered.
Yep.
Emil Smith-Rowe's probably the only nailed starter in the 10. And then Traore is probably the other one.
Yeah. But if Traore doesn't perform, you can really tell. You can really bloody tell.
You can see when
because Fulham will just look absolute garbage.
So we've got Brighton and Nottingham Forest. I think obviously Brighton were expected to beat Ipswich, but João Pedro is meant to come back into the side from the knock that he copped in the international break.
Yep.
Quite a game for Brighton against Ipswich. I think the hangover from the draw against Arsenal or international break was there from a lot of teams. But I do expect them maybe to come out and hopefully get a win against Forest. But Forest might have momentum up their sleeves after beating Liverpool, and sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Forest are carrying in some great form. It'll be very interesting to see, obviously, what happens. Like Chris Wood is still is dangerous, right? And he may not perform 1 week, but the next week
he'll
look out
get
for him.
Yeah,
he'll be there. So, look,
it'll be a close game.
Yeah.
I think these two teams are fairly matched overall in terms of even. Yep. It's all just going to come down to probably some moments, and maybe Mitoma might get in there and do really well. But
absolutely,
we'll see. So, match of the round, Manchester City.
Yes, City and Arsenal. It is going to be an absolute battle and a half because both teams have Champions League. Man City play on the Thursday Australian time. They play Thursday, and then Arsenal play Friday, and then all of a sudden they've got that turnaround for Monday.
So. And then you look at Monday where it's at 1:30 a.m. our time. So I don't think we'll be getting up watching that one, but I'll be seeing it at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Would love to watch it. But if it was on a Saturday, they have to put it on the last game of the bloody round to see it as well.
Yeah, well, because it's prime time for you UK viewers.
For Sunday night football. But it'll be such a good clash. I think this is going to be a deciding factor in the title race and seeing who's up there. But City will turn up.
Yeah.
Arsenal will probably turn up.
Well, Arsenal...
It might be a draw.
Arsenal have a couple of injuries. I mean, Saka copped a knock. Obviously, you still got Odegaard, who's out.
Out for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep. Rice will be back.
Which they need him.
It's it's going to be interesting because even when they played against Tottenham, they were just defensively so solid. So it's going to be a battle of the defence.
It will be.
The keepers.
But the hardest thing is you've got Haaland there, right?
Haaland is a freak. My God, this man does not stop scoring.
Another week, another Haaland. He's got 9 goals in 4 games.
Yep.
And he pretty much lock up the golden boot.
72 Premier League
in 70
goals
games.
In 70 games.
Unbelievable.
Alan Shearer, we'll tag you in this. He's come for you, bud. Like
he knows.
He's Alan Shearer's by far one of the greatest Premier League strikers that we've seen.
I think Haaland's going to be the best.
My God, Haaland is gonna. He's just going to gut him.
I can't believe at the start of the season people just didn't pick him and didn't have him. And I just thought, you guys got rocks in your head. This guy's 15 million for a reason.
Yeah.
He's the best FPL asset and striker up front because he's going to score 30-plus goals. And if he keeps this how he's going at 9 goals now in 5 games, he's going to go 30-plus.
So, I don't know whoever doubted him and whoever said, "Oh no, I'm not going to put him in my squad." Absolute lunatic.
But then you backflipped that week, and before the start of Gameweek 1, and then you put him straight in your side.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I know. So yeah, if you don't know, if you go back to Russ's episode 1 on this, he talked about maybe not picking Haaland in his side. He's like, I do not. And then he's like, you're an idiot, Russ. You don't know anything about football. And then all of a sudden, literally a day before the Gameweek 1 lockout, he brought him into his side because he panic traded and he realised that I was just being stupid.
I actually think it was like 10 hours before lockout. I'm just like...
Unbelievable. Boop. His last 4 games, he's gone 7 points, 17 points, 17 points, 13 points.
He's so good.
And then this week he might blank against Arsenal, but he also might just get 1 goal.
Yeah.
Who knows? But he's on pens. I just think I'm probably going to captain... Probably Palmer this week, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, still no clue who I'm captain.
Or Watkins.
Yeah.
Look, you could captain Haaland, but Arsenal's defenses have been really good.
Yeah.
They've only conceded 1 goal.
Yep. And you look at how they closed him out of the game last year too.
Yeah.
Like that, they definitely made him so quiet, but Haaland could be a different beast this year. So
it's unbelievable.
You never know.
Unbelievable.
All right. Who do you have for? I guess let's go on to our baller or our bust.
Okay.
All right. So for your baller, who's your baller? Or you gotta think about that
baller of the week. I'm probably going to go with. I'm going to go Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Trent.
I reckon he's going to score this week.
Yeah, nice. Could be a cheeky free kick, maybe.
Hopefully, I might even put the skipper on him, the captaincy on him.
Whoa. That's a shout.
That's a shout. That's not bad. I think a good pod captain this week, especially against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are playing fantastic, but I think there's going to be a reaction.
Yeah.
And I think against Bournemouth, remember, was there a 7-1? Was there an 8-1? There was something where they just demolished Bournemouth in recent years.
Yeah, I think so.
Where they've been 5. So I think this is the week I'm probably going to take a punt on maybe captaining him, but we'll see.
Yeah, you never know. Hey, it's always hard.
We'll see.
Always hard.
Who's yours?
I'm tossing up between the two. All right, they both play for the same team. It's either Watkins or it's Duran.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like those two this week are just they're gonna ride the highs of being in the Champions League. Right, they're gonna be like, holy crap! I just made my Champions League debut.
Yep.
That was sick. Let's do it again. I'm gonna score like 3 goals.
Yep.
Like, there'll be goals from those two.
Or one of them gets rested. Or one of them gets rested against Wolves.
I'll cry.
Yeah.
So everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine. Flip the tables. Okay, my bust of the week. Look, I think if we go into this week's games, even if we're looking at the fixtures, I'm probably... Yeah, look, I think my bust of the week is going to be probably in that Arsenal City game. I think Saka's probably going to have a quiet game.
Yep.
Look, you could probably say Haaland if you think they're going to blank, but I think Saka, I don't think he's going to get too many opportunities in that game.
It will be interesting to see, obviously, if he plays.
He plays,
I don't think he'll play against young boys, because they'll just rest him.
He won't for sure.
The game.
They got Sterling now, so
yeah,
they'll just rest him and they'll get him for the City game because the City game's way more important than the young boys game.
Yeah,
and so they'll just massage him, rest him all week, and then get him for City. But I don't think he's going to deliver anything this week.
Yeah.
Palmer could be a baller of the week if they're an option.
Yeah, could be.
Who's your bust?
My bust of the week, I've gone for a big one. All right. They have Brentford, but I don't know. Something about Ange's squad at the moment is it's just like he had good opportunities against Arsenal. He had very good opportunities. But I'm going to say it's Dom Solanke.
Okay.
I reckon Dom Solanke will just drop.
He's just going to blank?
Yep. So
they need to learn how to work with him because I think his assets in the air. He's very good in the air.
He's very good.
And they're not actually delivering anything into him where it's quality.
No.
They've got Maddison, they've got Porro, they've got good wingers. They've got everything deliverable. Johnson's good.
If they were smart with it, they wouldn't play the winger roles. They'd play more inverted.
Yep.
And I'd honestly start Son and Richarlison right next to him. Because those two are goal creators. You look at Son and Kane for years, right? You look at Richarlison even when he was at Everton, right? He banged them in, but he also had a hand in some assists too.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to play to the players that you have, right? And sometimes if that means from changing what your normal structure would be, right, you have to change it to at least get something working. And
you have to. They've just got to find some rhythm, and they will find some form. Tottenham, like Ange is a persistent, relentless type of person, so he'll definitely keep pushing. But yeah, overall, I think that's everything that we've got. That's this game week. It's not too much to preview.
Just before we go, another thing that started yesterday. Obviously, it's a 10-week thing, but something to keep an eye on. You got the Manchester City trial. Yeah, the Manchester City trial on the 115 charges.
Oh, yes, of course we do. So another football news, we got that starting. So I think obviously Russ's hope is that City get relegated.
It's just a little, I guess, mental thing, right? Because obviously all that shit's happening, right? Which means the board's probably going to be nervous or whatever. Or like Manchester City say they're not worried about it.
Yeah, their lawyers would
if
deal
they're
with
going in for it, and then come back, they're going to be like, oh, it's such a long day. And all of a sudden, that sort of energy wafts around the whole entire ground. So could be a reason why Arsenal potentially go 4-1 up on City.
We'll see. I think no matter what, it'll be competitive, but we'll see what the outcome is. But guys, make sure that you subscribe or even follow our YouTube channel. Thanks to everyone that's watching. Also with our TikToks, keep following us along. And make sure you just join in. If you got any questions on players or any questions, just comment below on the YouTube video. Even comment on our TikToks, and we'll try and answer them the best we can. But
if you've got any questions that you want to ask us to talk about on the pod, feel free to send them in too. But yeah, thank you very much for listening, guys. I really appreciate it, and
we'll see you next week for Game Week 6.
See you next week.